Last year, the Constitution Committee began reviewing the current Constitution of the Association to assess its viability in navigating unknown changes in the next decade. We based our proposals for fundamental and proactive changes on the IRTA Strategic Plan for 2022-24, which was developed and approved by the IRTA Executive Committee. I encourage you to read the Constitution Committee report in the spring 2023 issue of the IRTA Action to gain an overview of the strategic plan and the positive impact the proposed amendments would have on IRTA's future. Next, the committee sought an overall analysis of various associations to acquire a perspective of past and current practices of organizations that are thriving and those that are struggling. The committee reviewed the book, Race for Relevance, which discussed the last 20 years of changes that continue to affect the association model, such as changes in methods of communication, rapid advances in technology, shifting expectations and involvement of members, and association services and initiatives. Many associations govern the same way they did 50 years ago. However, I am proud to proclaim that IRTA deserves accolades for its performance through the decades. Our association, unlike many organizations, has been both adaptive and proactive and has effectively embraced necessary changes since its inception. Some of those recent initiatives include the use of email communication, websites, electronic forms, voter voice software, virtual meetings and conferences, live help chat, and video production. We must continue our systematic effort to be the premier advocate for retired educators. The Constitution Committee recognizes that there are challenges created by our current Constitution framework that have produced roadblocks and hurdles to navigate. Our discussion of issues included, but were not limited to, regional director and committee positions that are going unfilled, local units dissolving, unrepresented members at the biennial convention, and non-inclusion of all members in the governance of their organization. We must also assure that we are striving to effectively reach and engage the next generation of retirees. Change is not new to IRTA. Since its inception, IRTA has had the propensity to make essential amendments to its Constitution. The aptitude to adapt and keep our association relevant and vital for current and future members has been, and hopefully will continue to be, our association's strong suit. As part of our current governance, directors are selected from different geographic regions across Illinois. With the implementation of modern communication technology, information is now shared to all members via emails, texts, and live conferences, making the selection from geographic regions moot. We recognize and are very thankful for all the members who have passionately volunteered and effectively served the association throughout its history. However, the current geographic composition model of committee representation has become a detriment, impacting the board and committees. Let me explain. We have had at times when there were several well-qualified volunteers from a particular area who could not serve because the seats from their geographic location were full, whereas in other areas, seats went unfilled. We must continue to embrace IRTA's initial purpose as stated in our Constitution, which is to maintain and improve benefits to annuitants of TRS. We must recognize and address the fact that all our members, whether inside or outside of Illinois borders, have the same interests. Every IRTA member has the right to participate in decisions that strengthen our stated purpose. The Constitution, therefore, is recommending several constitutional changes for your approval at the Biennial Convention this October in Springfield. We unanimously believe that each of these proposals are fundamental in empowering IRTA to continue to be effective as we represent and advocate for all retirees. The IRTA Executive Committee has officially recommended approval for all the proposed amendments. The first proposal I will address is the amendment to reduce the size of the IRTA Board of Directors from 33 to 10 members. The Constitution Committee suggests, along with our professional consultants, other experts, and the IRTA Executive Board, that we can be more effectively governed with a board of 10 instead of 33. Responses from the committee received from regional directors include the sentiment that it has become more and more difficult to get members to accept roles or offices for various positions when the members themselves do not see a need for such positions. If this amendment passes, the committee also recommending that the board increase its annual meeting from 2 to a minimum of 4 meetings per year. In fact, the best endorsement argument for this amendment is that it exists today de facto. Most of the association's decisions are made by the executive committee. This proposal formalizes an already established practice. The amendment proposal involving geographic divisions also addresses the issue of a smaller board of directors. If the amendment passes, the geographic division amendment will divide the association solely into areas. The term region will be removed. Again, some current and past regional directors have stated, "It was my experience that the information I presented was already known to the local unit officers and their attending members." Others have stated that regional representation is no longer necessary for the conduit of communication due to the use of technology, which has made communication with units easier and in a timely manner. The proposed amendment regarding committees has several components. First, the amendment will change the name of the Nominations Committee to Leadership Development Committee, which is more descriptive of this committee's purpose. Next, the membership, legislative, and member benefits committees will be inclusive of any member in good standing who desires to serve. Real-time video conferencing allows us now to get input from any association member worldwide who wants to be involved with those committees. Being more inclusive will help address past and current issues regarding unfilled committee seats and meeting participation. The inclusive virtual voting proposed amendment is put forth in 3 separate proposals. First, all active IRTA members would have the opportunity to vote prior to the biennial convention to elect officers. Second, members from each area would have the opportunity to vote to elect their area representative. Third proposed amendment, all active IRTA members would have the opportunity to vote prior to the biennial convention to amend the Constitution. These amendments expand inclusivity, fulfilling the committee's desire that all members should have the right to vote on all issues regarding their association of which they are members in good standing. Paper ballots shall be offered to any member who cannot vote electronically. The proposed amendment to remove language regarding the process of proposing a dues increase would be moved from the IRTA Constitution and added to the IRTA standing rules. The standing rules are where the operating principles for the organization are most appropriate. The exact language for each proposed amendment and the rationale for each can be found in the members area of the IRTA website and will be published in the convention issue of the IRTA Action. Also, a link to this information is included in the registration for each conference and available to those attending area conferences in the Zoom chat feature. These amendment proposals were the work of devoted and dynamic Constitution Committee members, consisting of a representative for each area of the state: Gail Hobb, Norbert Walter, Keith Bailey, Donna Sargent, Ann Chandler, Fred Bloss, and myself. I continue to be inspired by their hard work and dedication. IRTA's purpose and mission have never been and should never be changed from its original concept. These proposed changes only provide a more efficient and practical mechanism that enables adaptation to changing times. As Benjamin Franklin once said, "When you're finished changing, you're finished." Thank you for your consideration of these important and necessary proposals.